Now that we have our first set of animation, we now have to look at how to add a second set of animation and how to go between the two animations within a game engine. Now I'm talking about when you actually hit shift on the keyboard in a game or enter on a game. You might attack something. You might click a mouse and it waves a sword. We're going to look at this at a very elementary state and show you how that works. So first off, we need a second set of animation here. Right now we have 30 frames. We're going to extend 30 frames out. So in this case, this is going to be 30 and this is going to be 60. Keep in mind that this is a very slow pace animation. Now I'm just going to grab my timeline and shift it over to the next 30 frames. Alright, now this is where we run into a little bit of problems. We're going to take this and we're going to key it. So, in this case I need to grab the bones, go into pose mode, and I like the state it's in right now. Well, what I'm going to do is go back to the relaxed state, which is located underneath your armature. In this case, I go down to Pose Library, hit Relax, hit the magnify glass, and then I'm going to key this. Key it for rotation, and then I'm going to jog over to 60 frames. Again, hit the Relax. Make sure that you have A on the keyboard, so all bones are lit though. So I'm just going to go back here, click the magnify glass. There we go. There we go. So now we should have no animation between 30 and 60, and this is what I stated, that we are going to run into some problems. The problem is with the interpolation mode. So it's mixed. We have a little bit of everything going on here, and we have to tell Blender to keep with one form of interpolation. So we raise this up and we go into a new mode. So split area, click. Then down below, we go to Dope Sheet. Dope Sheet tells you exactly what bone is moving and when. In this case, I'm just going to shrink this up so it's easier for you to look at. Now you can see here, here's the root bone, waist bone, all the bones. And these little dots indicate keyframes. So the little dots, you can move these around. We don't want to do that. We want to keep these super clean. We don't want a whole bunch of staggered animation. We want these to be all pretty much lined up with each other. So we don't move these around too often. Now, what we want to do here is set the interpolation mode. So I hit A on the keyboard, go to Key, and go to Interpolation Mode. In this case, we're going to go to linear. What's the difference between linear and constant? Well, constant would be, let's say, in physics, we have something move. If there is no force acting on the object, that is a constant state of motion. If there is some force, it's a linear. In this case, it would be linear because the human body moves against gravity. We have some kind of force interacting, so therefore it is linear. A constant would be, it's kind of hard to tell, but okay, so if you had a gun that would triggered some kind of motion, the gun firing the bullet flying out of the chamber, that would probably be a constant state of motion. Okay, a robot moving, it might be a constant state of motion because it's actually geared to fight a force. So I guess those are kind of weak examples, but yeah, they're examples nonetheless. In other words, now between 30 and 60 frames, we have no form of animation. Alright, now that we have the basic setup down, let's go to the next video and look at moving the arm or doing some set of animation between 30 and 60 frames.